What's up, guys, and welcome to another video of DevTalks with your host Travian, where we talk about everything engineering technology wise. And in this video, apparently Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI, has some real concerns about something. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and let's dive right in.
Welcome back to Power Lunch. Less than 3 years since the launch of chatgpt, AI is already reshaping industries, businesses, and our daily lives. But how big is its impact on the economy, and how can it actually be best used to boost productivity and innovation in our economy? Those are among the topics being addressed by OpenAI's Sam Altman at a conference in Washington, D.C. today. Our senior finance and banking reporter, Leslie Picker, joins us now with some of the highlights of that big conversation and just the impact we are seeing from AI on the economy. Leslie.
Hey, Dom. Yeah, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman speaking at the Fed's Capital Conference here in D.C. today. In a conversation with Fed Vice Chair of Supervision Michelle Bowman, Altman spoke about how AI makes it easier for criminals to impersonate individuals and then move large amounts of money that isn't theirs.
AI has fully defeated most of the ways that people authenticate currently, other than like passwords, but all of these like fancy, take a selfie and wave or do your voice or whatever. I am very nervous that we have a significant impending fraud crisis because of this.
Bowman said partnering with Altman on the issue would be a, quote, beneficial thing to engage in. Alongside his appearance, OpenAI releasing a report about what ChatGPT has meant for productivity in the U.S. economy. The company says users send more than 2.5 billion messages to their platform per day globally, 330 million of which is in the U.S.
That are some insane numbers. That's messages entirely. That's not 330 million or 2.5 billion people. That's just messages alone. Somebody can send a prompt like today in Gemini, I sent like 2 on my own, but yesterday I probably sent about 7 or 8, or like yesterday or the other day, like 7 or 8 for generating like thumbnails and things like that, or like seeing what images it would generate for me. Like these are I do AI for a lot of different reasons. It really depends on the day, what I may need it for. It just makes life easier. But so that's not like people per se using the platform, but that just shows you how much usage and volume that they are getting out. I wonder how many, like, I want to compare this to people's like social media things, like compared to like Instagram or Twitter, how many tweets are made a day versus like how many comments are made a day on Instagram. I want to see that, to see how much people are using AI compared to social media. That is an interesting thing. And actually, real quick, I'm going to just make a note for myself. Comparing AI usage to social media. I'm actually really curious about that. I like figuring out new information and things along those lines. So when it comes to a chance like that, I'm going to take it to figure out that. If somebody else knows, let me know. If you already know and know the details and all that, let me know. But the biggest thing that I wanted to react to this for is how he said that criminals are using AI to get through all the authentication messages now. But back then, when you had to prove you weren't a robot, I'm pretty sure there's an AI program out there that can do that for you, or do that to get away on that like authentication aspect. And whatever, it's probably one that can run numbers in a system. Who knows? But I'm really curious about what kind of plan that they're going to work with. Especially, this is going to help OpenAI the most if he's going to be working with the government head on this issue, because they're going to be able to get some funding from the government in a sense to, and just talking about how they are going to grow as a company too, right? Like if you're getting this government funding to help them solve an issue about identity crises and problems to prevent theft and other instances, I wonder how they're going to leverage AI to make it more secure for you. I wonder if it'll be something kind of similar to Bitcoin in a sense where each token has their own individual like IDs and a sense, and like maybe I just don't. I don't know exactly how they're going to do it, but I am curious to figuring out how, if that makes sense, like how they're going to go about it, what they're thinking about, and getting more details into it. But it is something that is very spooky. I just did a video where we talked about Microsoft being hacked, and people are going to, whenever new developments come up into technology, people have to think about the risks that can come out of it. There are always going to be bad actors, regardless. And even if it's not like, even if a bad actor is one bad actor, or 1% of the people are bad actors, right? On these tools or using certain softwares or whatever to do bad things, even if 1% of the people in the world are doing it, um, let's try to prevent it as much as possible. Turn that 1% into like half of that percent or a tenth of that percent. And what are ways that we can further prevent it? These are things that always have to be thought about, because these are serious things that are happening constantly, like getting robbed blank, especially with most money is digital now. The main way to prevent a hacker from stealing your money out your bank account is to keep it in cash. But why don't people do that? Because of interest and everything else and all the investment stuff. That's why money's so digital. And plus, the money doesn't exist all in cash for everybody. So we need to find ways to be more secure and stuff. And I actually have an idea. But I'm not making it public. I'm sorry. I'm not putting all my ideas on the internet, especially when I don't have it fully fledged out and how we're going to be able to go throughout this. But yeah, um, yeah, let me know what you guys think, yo. Between both of them, like between the topics of how many users are on freaking their messaging platforms compared to how authentication is no longer valid due to AI. I'm really curious what anybody else has to say in regards to this. If there's any security engineers or anything, people who are working on this, please give me more insight or send me any articles to my email at devtalkspod@gmail.com. And also, anybody with recommendations, please send me any recommendations at devtalkpod@gmail.com. All my links are in the description down below. But without further ado, don't forget to comment, share, like, subscribe. I really appreciate everybody who does. Thank you so much to everybody who does. I really appreciate you all. You guys have no idea. But without further ado, peace. See you next time.